My name is Kate Williams and I am a senior at the Saline High School. I participate in certain clubs like Drama Club, ASL Club, and Mission Earth. I'm heavily involved in the art community and as well as learning French. So those are two interests that I really like. I also really like animals and hope to maybe one day go into helping animals or working with animals in some kind of way. In my downtime, I like to play the guitar and the ukulele. I'm not that good at it, but it's still fun to do, and I like to sing along and kind of like make little songs or do covers of songs that I really enjoy, and it's fun. I usually post them on like my Instagram account or something like that, but hopefully one day I want to make a YouTube channel, which I think would be really fun to manage.
You always avoid me, that must be such an inconvenience to you.
One of the clubs that I'm in is Mission Earth, which is about helping the environment and things that like kind of learning about what's going on in the world and current events. Maybe it's political, maybe it's, improvements within the environmental status, but it's mainly talking about how to help and fix climate change and global warming, which I think is very important because as humans, we were put on this planet, and even though we have a relationship with this planet that it feeds us, we also feed the planet as well. And I think damaging that is very, it's an awful thing, I specifically like that club because it allows me to learn more on how to protect the environment, because, and then also educate that onto others because, it's important to start today, or as soon as you possibly can to help the environment, because the deterioration of it is just rapidly increasing. And I really want to save it, save the animals, save plants, bugs, people, everything. I just think, the relationship between life and the planet is mutual. The planet cannot constantly provide for life if life cannot provide for the planet. So I think that's just really important, and that's one of the reasons why I'm heavily involved with Mission Earth and that club as well. So. My love for animals has been ever since I was little. I just love them. I don't know why. They're all so cute. I just love animals. And so my grandfather, he was really involved with physics and science, and he kind of shined that light down onto me, and he exposed me to that world of science. And one way that we bonded together was he signed me up for these like nature classes that were in Romulus, Michigan, where we would basically, as a group, go and look at animal tracks outside and distinguish what animals were what, try and figure out different kinds of plants. I remember we did like a night tour and tried to find like owls, which was really cool. But just kind of like put ourselves in that nature position. And that really intrigued me, and that's something that my grandfather and I like bonded over, was that kind of like nature route. But ever since stuff like that, I've just really been intrigued with animals. I love working with them. I used to volunteer at the Huron Valley Humane Society, as well as kind of working with the animals and trying to get them adopted. So I did most of the basic stuff as well because I was a junior volunteer. So cleaning windows, petting cats, trying to direct people to specialized workers who were there. But it was really fun and eye-opening, and I just really liked taking care of those animals. I think that was really eye-opening for me. I applied to Savannah College of Art and Design, which specializes in creative careers, and I thought about studying that. I don't know what I would study if I went there. I'm kind of bouncing in between animation, fashion design, and photography. There's also a lot of minors that I would be choosing, as well as vocal performance and maybe music composition, or choosing between the Residential College of Arts and Humanities at MSU, which is basically you are learning an art that you choose to study, whether it be film, photography, drawing and painting, and then you involve yourself in humanitarian classes. So you would take classes on sex trafficking, and then you would do volunteer work and a lot of other things like that. So those are my two decisions. So in both of them, I'm going to be studying an art. It's something that I have done since I was very young. As long as, when I could pick up a crayon, I would scribble and everything, and then it kind of transitioned into just drawing what I felt, drawing what I wanted, and whether that be cartoon characters or self-portraits or flowers, which I would often do for my grandmother. That just kind of tumbled into my interest of experimenting with different medias and kind of following the pathway of creativity within the education system. So currently I'm enrolled in AP Art, and over these trimesters I have been working on building up my concentration because there are 3 sections to the AP Art portfolio to submit to the College Board. So my concentration was the primitive nature of mankind, which is what I wanted to show how humans are all animals, which is, connecting art with my love for animals. Like, it's all about kind of reproduction, survival, eating food and nourishment to just stay alive. So I think that in my concentration I was trying to show the difference between man and animal, but also a lot of the similarities between man and animal. Over the summer in 2018, in July, I got to visit Italy and Paris with my best friends, which was the most amazing trip that I've ever been on. And I think that exposing me to different areas of the world was so beneficial to my understanding of everything and everyone, because growing up in Saline, it's such a small town, and you kind of feel like, oh, I can't really get out of it, I can't, this is what the world is like, blah, blah, blah. But visiting that trip, especially with being with my best friends, was so eye-opening, because the culture that revolved around that and meeting the people who live in that culture was so different from Saline. That was the most fun trip I've ever been on. It was also really cool too because we spent 2 days in Paris. So I got to use a little bit of my French, which was interesting because I never had the opportunity in a French class, with my French class or anything, to do anything remotely close to French culture or anything. But going to France and meeting those people and experiencing that culture was just, it really humbled me in a sense, and it really opened my eyes to the world and how things work that way, and it was just so enjoyable and probably the best moment of my life. I know I keep saying that, but it was. It was so awesome. And even if you think about how humans were able to create those buildings and the culture that had lasted all those years, it was just really, really cool. And I'll never forget that trip. Hopefully go back there in Italy, maybe move there one day, I don't know. Yeah. So right now I'm just trying to kind of go through high school and finish my studies, still trying to figure out necessarily what I want to do. But I think overall I like to help people, and I like helping living things. So whether that be animals or people, being socially involved with different cultures and, speaking French, or I just think a lot of the basis of that is to help others, because I think mentally it helps me, and I'm providing my services as a human being to help people who are less fortunate than me. As well as being involved with the arts, I think that is very social in its own way. One thing that I love creating about art is that it is completely up to interpretation by anybody. So even though I create something and I want, in my mind it has a specific meaning and a message, to anybody else it can mean something else, and that can be really important for that person. Mainly just relating to other people and helping others to the best of my ability is what I think my purpose is as a human being, and that's just kind of how I want to direct my life. Whether that be volunteer work or, helping people, teaching people how to paint or speak French, or, traveling and showing other people American culture or things like that, or traveling and helping sick animals or endangered species. I just think that would be very, very fun and kind of my reason for life. So that's what I want to do with my life, and that's what I'm hoping to accomplish throughout my life.